Welcome to my humble kitchen where I am cooking on behalf of my store patrons. Our store is called the African Caribbean Food Market, popularly known as Man Must Whack. And we've gotten so many requests for recipes and cooking videos or anything that can help people that would like to learn how to make our dishes or perfect what they're already doing. And that's why we have this new channel. We're going to have not just West African and other African and Caribbean dishes, but we'll have some Caribbean and even cook American or Western dishes with our own flair. So we encourage you to subscribe and also have your friends subscribe. So this is actually a picture of my beautiful mom holding one of our recipes. This is our recipe card for Egusi soup, which is what I'm making today. And Egusi soup is one of the most popular West African dishes. Very rich in essential fatty acids as well as rich in protein. And the soup itself is rich in meats and fish, depending on what you like to cook. But typically, the way it's normally cooked, there's lots of meats and protein and a lot of vegetables, which are very healthy for you. And of course, a little bit of red palm oil. I cook with a little bit of a flavor and flair, and understanding that we live in a world where we need to be a little bit more conscious about what we make, so on what we put into our bodies, because I'm all about, you know, mind, body, and spirit. Over here, I have chicken and goat meat, as well as stockfish, tripe, and tendon. You know, just a little variety, some of the things that we have in the shop. So next to the stove, I'm going to pour this in. I already have my broth that I already started making. So I'm going to pour the meats. Let me just raise my hand a little bit. I'm going to pour the I'm going to put the meat and the fish in first. They've already been cooked for, I've already prepped them cooked for about 30 minutes or so before we started this video, because I didn't want to waste your time with all these. But of course, based on your recommendations and what you say after the watching this video, then we'll know what to do, how most of our audience prefer to see things going. And to the left of the stove is tomatoes, onions, and red bell peppers blended in the blender and then sauteed in olive oil for about 20 minutes. So I did that concurrently while this was happening. So the recipe cards are available at my store, so when you do come, we're in downtown Oakland. When you do come to visit us, make sure that you take a recipe card with you so you know what quantities to get. I already seasoned the broth with, I believe, my taste. So whenever you're seasoning, it's always important to season it with what you prefer. Now the seasonings consist of, I put some crayfish in there. I put some Maggi cubes, which is a very popular seasoning back in Africa, and I also added some salt to taste and some peppers, and just to give it my own flavor. So the crayfish brings out the flavor in most traditional dishes, so I always highly recommend that you do that. And I use mostly blended crayfish. Some people like to use the dried shrimp, which we also have at my store, and some people like to use the crayfish that's not blended. So I've thrown in my meat and my chicken and my goat meat, and now I'm getting ready to turn things around and just get things going here. Okay, so I'm mixing everything up, and then I'm going to add, start putting this on, the tomatoes and the red bell peppers on, because I'm going to get my egusi ready so I can mix everything into the pot. Okay, so So I'll let that simmer for a little bit while I get my egusi ready. So this is about 29 ounces that I'm going to use to cook this pot. This is probably going to feed about maybe 6 to 8 people. But you need to kind of learn how to cook for different people, different sizes of people. Now the recipe cards we have feeds about 4 people, and you're going to need about, let's see, a pound, it says here, half a pound. But it all depends on you. You can use more or less. If you want it thicker or not too thick, then you cook it according to your own taste. The most important thing is that you have a little bit of egusi ready for your soup. So I'm going to cut it open. Oops, made a little usual Queen K thing. I'm a bit on the clumsy side, so I feel like if I can do this, anybody can. We also have this available at the store. I'm going to put about a spoonful, so I don't really need that much. Since I already achieved my redness, a cooking spoonful, and then I'm going to turn it around. Remember the tomato and the bell pepper and onions already have a little bit of olive oil in it, so you don't need too much oil. This is just to give it that authentic African flavor. Okay? And I've added some crayfish already, but if I taste the soup when I'm almost done and I feel like I need to add some more, then I'll do that. And I already have my peppers. So next thing I need to do is get my egusi ready, and I'm going to stir it in the pot. I prefer to use a wooden spoon, only because I'm able to kind of, any of the pieces, see how it looks, it's kind of like, it's blended, but it's some of it is a little solid, so the spoon helps me to make sure that I get it all nice and powdery like this. So my sauce is ready for my egusi. Is my egusi ready for my sauce, right? Okay, so it's all in there. I'm going to put this to about medium, and I'm going to start stirring it. And when I've stirred it to where every single egusi has been colored into this nice rich red color, then I'm going to mix it into this pot here, and then add my final thing, which is the spinach. Now you could use fresh spinach or any fresh green, leafy green vegetable, very rich in iron. And but today I'm using frozen spinach, which I'm going to add for the final finale here. 1 second here. So see, my egusi is already blended in, and it's cooking at a very nice pace. So I just want to make sure I mix it really good. Some people actually add it into the pot all at the same time, but I just, for some strange reason, this is something that stuck in me when I was a kid. I like to do it this way, but you can cook it all into the same pot if you like. So here we go. My mom will be so proud of me. She happens to be out of town at this time, so I'm doing a lot of these easy to do ones, so that when she gets back, I'll give her the hard stuff, like the bitter leaf soup and the oba and abacha and the like, right? We'll leave that for the pros. I'll just be an apprentice when that time comes. So here I am. Everything's ready. And I'm just gonna add this here. So don't mind my small kitchen. I have very good hopes of one day being in a big kitchen, the big island, so I can prep and cut and bake and do all kinds of things at the same time. But for now, I'm humbly enjoying my kitchen. So because I like to save every last drop, I'm going to rinse this out, add a little water, and mix it around so I can get every little bit that I can. Remember, I did not use too much palm oil, even though you're seeing the redness. That's because of the tomatoes and red bell peppers, and they're fresh ones. I didn't use the ones in the can, Or you can do that as well. If you don't have the time and you only have canned or frozen, I recommend you go that route, because you don't want to stress yourself out when you don't need to. So now I'm going to test for flavor to see if I need to add anything else. Then I'll let it cook for a little bit so that it goes into the sauce. I mean, the sauce goes into the chicken and the meats and the fish. Then I can add my I'm not just saying this because it's meat. This is really good. You know, I have the cameraman taste it, but then he'll be like confused. He's looking at his hand. Okay, here's our cameraman. Again, like I said, you can use any vegetable you like. If you have water leaf, what's the other one? Kale, collard greens, fresh ones. I just want to make it a little simple for many of you that are, you know, out there who just want to make this as tasty as possible. I know it's looking really good right now, right? Everything looks good. Let me go ahead and cover this up for just a few. I really can't wait to eat it. You know, I made sure that I had a light breakfast so that lunch would be really yum. So I'm going to have this open, and so feel free, send me an email, send me a message, you know, what would you like to make? Are you African? Maybe you grew up in America and somehow, for some reason, you were never able to learn it the way your mom makes it. Or maybe you grew up in Nigeria, but you just want to add, you know, and I just threw Nigeria there because that's where I'm from. But I mean, you could be from Ghana, it could be any West African country, and you guys also eat Egusi there as well. Or maybe you're married or dating someone from, you know, my part of the world who likes Egusi. So this is, you know, this is one of the dishes, but we have so many, we can't even begin to tell you how vast our meals are. But one of the things that I know that there's not been enough research in how nutritious our food is, because we live in a developing country, you know, by most standards. So I'm thinking, like, you know, I live in America, right? And most of the foods, down to the smallest particle, have been, you know, investigated and researched, and, you know, they know the nutritional value and all of that. But I want to learn more about our foods. I want to be part of, you know, the next generation of people who learn more about what we eat and how our food is good. I mean, we've survived generations on it, but how our food is good. And we're not really one of those cultures that like to, you know, count calories and things like that. But if we know enough about what we eat and just eat the right stuff and kind of use common sense to eat the right quantities, I think we'll be okay, you know? So I think now my Egusi is ready to, I'm ready to add the spinach into the simmering pot of soup that's already ready for us, right? So I have my frozen spinach. I'm going to kind of take out a little of the water though, because it was frozen and I don't want too much water. So I'm just squeezing out the water and just putting it in the pot. So I have 2 packs of the spinach for this small pot of soup. And that's it. I'm just going to throw it in. So a hint of veggies, not too much, but just enough to make sure that you're getting your vegetables. My boys cannot wait to join us in this meal. And like I said, I had a light lunch or a light breakfast, so I'm really, really hungry. I can't wait. So just squeezing out the water because it does retain water because it was frozen and now it's defrosted. So again, total cooking time is under about an hour, so it's not doesn't take too long to make. So hopefully you can do this and send me feedback and let me know how it feels or how how it turned out. And again, I'd like to hear your feedback. What would you like to see? I didn't go ahead and bore you with the start to finish, but if that's more of what you'd like to see, I could do that. So now everything is in the pot. I'm just going to go and stir it. And I don't like to overcook my vegetables because you don't want to lose the nutritional value. Turn this on medium and just stir. Oh my God, my mom will be so proud. Look at that. Oh my goodness. You know, don't mind me, I'm left-handed. but you know, I do my part. This is awesome. Again, not because I cooked it, but I'm starving too, so but it looks good. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start getting the hot water ready for pounding. Yeah, get a close shot of that. Yeah, it's just awesome. So that's your egusi soup, and overall cooking time, like I said, is about ooh, look at that. It's too juicy. Even the side of the pot wants some. All right, so our soup is almost ready, but popular accompanying product is called pounded yam. It's a lovely food product, rich in fiber, right? So I'm gonna put that in the hot water that's already boiled. It's also on the card, and we're gonna explain it a little bit, you know, in the titles of the video and the subtitles of the video. I'm gonna put a little bit in. This is a very small pot, so probably about 2 people. I would say about 2 cups. But, okay. So after about a minute of stirring, I've got it to very smooth, ready to munch form. So it's time to serve. Ooh, look at that. Yum. So the soup is, you know, shouldn't be too thick and shouldn't be too watery. So it's just perfect consistency. So it's all done, and you've got your soup, you've got your pounded yam. It's time to go chill out in the corner and enjoy yourself, right? So here we go. Yum. So remember, the most important ingredients in making any food is love. When you put love into anything you're doing, and you're passionate about making sure that the end result gives you satisfaction, you're all set. Overall cooking time is about, you know, 1 hour. So, but you have this, your kids, your man, your friends, your family, doesn't matter where they're from, they love it. Can you imagine when you make okra and all the other soups? Gosh, I mean, I have a request for banga soup, so I have my work cut out for me. But I hope that, you know, you stay with me, you subscribe to the channel. Again, it's Man Must Whack on YouTube. That's MANMUSTWAK, and that's on YouTube. And we also have a website, manmustwhack.com. We're going to be blogging, talking about different foods and different people's, you know, how they make it and things like that. So stay tuned and stay connected with us and give us some feedback. Thank you.